Hi everybody and welcome back to I Love My STEM Career. This is a two-day event taking place this morning and tomorrow morning in the Nerve Centre in Derry and in the Ormo Bats in Belfast. We're looking at very cool STEM careers, and next up we have got Jade Truffitt, who is a Cyber Risk Security Assessor at Allstate Northern Ireland. How are you?
I'm not too bad, Emer. How are you?
I'm good. I don't know that much about cybersecurity, apart from my sister works in it, so I think they obviously let anybody in. So do you want to tell us what exactly is it? Like, I always think James Bond, what is it and how do you get a career in that industry?
Well, cyber basically is anything online. Mm-hmm. So it's protecting your online assets and data from unauthorized access, which could lead to potential damage or theft. Yeah. So, like, the last job that I was in was data protection. So we would scan the network for anything being sent externally. So say you put on a credit card number or a driver's license number, your national insurance number, anything that's sensitive, it would be picked up and then it would flag an event. So my job then was to look at that event and go, is this authorized or not? So, like, you log in, mm-hmm. and you put in Jade Truffitt's credit card, but we can see it was Emer Maguire done it. And we're like, Emer, why? What are you up to there?
Why not?
But so it's just it's basically just protecting the organisation to make sure that your data is safe and that there's controls in place to make sure that you're not going to get hacked and all those kind of things.
Because whenever I hear it, cybersecurity, I've always assumed it's kind of like government stuff or, like that kind of thing. I never have really thought about, me embezzling from you or kind of anything about putting in your details online. I didn't really realise there was that link. How did you get into that?
I got into it, it was like a rotation opportunity that came up in Allstate. So they do things like further your development. Say there's a need for a resource on a different team, but it's only temporary, they'll open that up as a development opportunity for somebody else to come in and spend that 3 to 12 months or whatever in that space to kind of learn the ropes and get a wee bit of experience. So there was a role that came up in our asset risk profile team, and it was only meant to be for like 12 months. Yeah. So I went in, and it was so basically what it is like it's like a form. So whenever you bring in like a new vendor or a new application, you go in and you fill out this form with all the information about the service or the system, and it has like a back end calculator. It then like assesses the risk and gives it a score, and then whatever that score is, then like the higher the score, the more controls are going to be needed. And while I was in that role, they done another program called Evolve, which gives you the opportunity to go and shadow a team for, I think it was 4 hours a week or something. And with that year that I had in that other role, and then just with the shadowing, they posted a permanent post then. So I was well able to apply and fortunately got through the interview phase and got the job. But, it really was down to Allstate and giving you those opportunities to, get an insight into different things and put your toe in different ponds
and stuff. And so you've been at Allstate for a while, over a decade.
Yeah.
Ish.
Thanks.
So
makes me sound really old.
you've had loads of different roles. So have each of those roles impacted you? Have each of them kind of shaped you for your next career opportunity?
I went into Allstate as a technical support analyst, so it was. You're front line, you're getting calls from Allstate employees where they're having technical issues. And like whenever I went in there, we done 8 weeks of classroom training. Yeah. And a lot of the emphasis was around your soft skills.
Okay.
So, you think you're going into a technical support role, but really, like, it was a lot to do with how you deal with a customer. Yeah. And I think, people always say, like, oh, I hate to work in customer service and I hate working with the public and all, but whatever role you go into, there's going to be a customer.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if you're a back-end developer or you're sitting, in reception, there's always a customer there, like, and it definitely did set me up to, deal with different types of people.
Yeah, and I think that is a benefit. Like you're saying that you do, no matter what you do, you always have to deal with someone. So it's good that they do put an emphasis on those skills, because you would kind of think in tech those skills are overlooked, but obviously they're not by places like Allstate, which is brilliant. So what advice, have you ever got a piece of advice in your career and you've thought, that's the best thing anyone's ever said to me? Or do you have a piece of advice to tell the young people who are watching?
I would say the best bit of advice I was given was just to take every opportunity that you're given. You know, like, especially over the last few years when my career has really started to progress, you know, because I was kind of at a standstill for a while. I had my son, and while he was quite young, I was just more focused on him. And, you know, there's so many times where job opportunities come up and I'm going, oh, no, I'm not applying for that. And, like, my manager would be like, why? You meet the criteria. You know, it's the next step up. Why not? Oh, well, what if I don't get it? Well, what if you don't? You know, you're not losing anything. Just take all the opportunities that you're given, especially things even like this. Like, see, a couple of years ago, there wouldn't have been a hope that I would be sitting on a stage, I guess, talking to people, because I would have rather crawled into a hole. I would have been absolutely terrified. But the more you do things, the more confident you get. And, you know, and it's that visibility as well. You know, you're not going to be approached to do things and get involved in things if people don't know who you are. So putting your name out there and stepping up and volunteering for things, I guess, is always really good.
That's true. And like you said there, like, well, like, why not? And like, well, what if I don't get it? But sure, who cares? Like, I honestly do think, like, my favourite piece of life advice is, what's the worst that's going to happen? Do you know, like, you might be nervous, but, you know, like, feel the fear and do it anyway. Because you're not going to get a job, but sure, what does that matter? You get the experience. Do you know? So I always think, what's the worst that can happen? If you don't do something, the worst that can happen is nothing will change. And sure, oh, boring. Do you know? So that's really, really great advice. Is there anything that you know now about the world of work that you wished you knew when you were kind of 16, 17?
Just don't try and have it all figured out, because, like, I started in Allstate with just my GCSEs. I was a young mum. Like, I just kind of thought, oh, well, this is it, you know. Like, and, like, I went from away and I wanted to be a policewoman. Then I wanted to be in CSI. But I hated science. There was absolutely no way like that was going to happen for me. And then now I'm in cybersecurity, and it's like, you know, you might think what you want is the definite, but then different things will take you down different paths. And like now I'm like, well, I've kind of got it some way. It's cybersecurity. It's not, you know, being out in the field and doing all that, but it's still kind of related.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And I think that's, like, we've talked to loads of people today. Everyone's had a very different path. Like you're saying, you know, we've had some people who've gone to uni. We've had people coming over from different countries. Somebody who decided not to go to uni. You're saying, well, like, I had my GCSEs and I had, like, a really young kid at the time, and I thought I would just start to give this job a go. But sure, look where it's happened. So it's kind of like, I'm hoping today we're really emphasising that everyone does not have the same path, and you shouldn't, because it's about what suits you as a person as well. And today's obviously called Why I Love My STEM Career. So what is the thing that you absolutely love the most about yours?
The people that I get to meet. Like, I'm never saying, like, I always thought I wanted to be in CSA, you know, like, we have people coming into our work. Like, we had this guy come in called Freaky Clown. That was his name. Like, he actually changed his name. That was his name on his passport. And he came in and done an event for us, and, like, it was, like, he was putting up these slides, but it was all blank. He was like, well, I done this, but I can't tell you for who or what I done. You know, it's wild interesting, and it really is, like, you know, that kind of what you were thinking what cybersecurity is. Like,
it is cool.
You do get to meet people like that.
That is... Freaky Clown. I'm just like, that's going to be my new nickname from now on. I'm only like to be referred to as Freaky Clown for the rest of today, please. That is exactly what I thought. I was like, but Jade, thank you so much. And could we please get a round of applause?
Thanks.